Hello and welcome to part 3 of How to Flash. This time we're going to do a few hops and jumps, and I'm going to explain how you construct those things with this new method I've found, and also tweening. And there are a few ways made to simplify and help you do certain tasks quick and easy in your animations. Now the first thing is right here, the jumping animation, which will in the end look like this. Just a regular ass jump. And now the first thing to do is to make the so-called keyframes. Now I'm not talking about the timeline keyframes, the frames where the most important frames in the animation. Here we have the standing in the beginning, and then we have the crouch as he's preparing to jump, and here's the jump, and then there's an additional frame that is not one of the keyframes, but I just thought I would add it. It's the landing, or about to land, and here is the landing itself, and back on 2 feet again. And these are, I drew these guidelines to show where his head and the whole torso moves. So you can see up here it's quite around the highest line right up here. In the next one it's quite around the lowest line because he's crouching, it goes down. And then it's way above the highest line because, you know, he's jumping. He can't jump like this high. And then the landing, when he's a bit crouched and on the way down, and the slider crouch when he lands, and then back standing up again. And feet in the same place at all times. And here are the in-between frames. Or at least, you know, one between each and every keyframe. Here's the standing position, and then beginning to crouch, crouching, then releasing, jumping, stopping midair, landing, and the actual landing, and getting back up to standing. And it looks something like this. It's really quick and kind of clumsy. And the best way to do these things is with onion skin. So as you go here, you can click to see here's the previous frame, here's the future frame, so you have to do something in between those two. And it works now like everywhere. Here's the beginning frame that's about to come next, and here's a little bit of motion blur just to make things easier. And as we land, you can see the hands are opening sort of here, and then they fall behind a little because he is going down, and the torso comes down first, or legs, and landing, getting back up, and fully up. And here is the complete animation. Yep. Now here, because he's sparkling like crazy, I added in-between frames, in between the red in-between frames, which are green. So in between these, these, and here I didn't need one because, you know, the action is so fast. You always go down, well, because of the speed that you come landing down, you don't need a frame in between these two because it's so fast. And here he crouches a little bit more and springs back up. Boing, boing, boing. And once again, these are made with the helping hand of the onion skin tool. This thing is between the keyframe and the red in between. I made one here. Here's a red in between. Then there's the keyframe and the red in between. I made one between those, and so on. And here I used two because, you know, as you stop, as you start getting down again, of course the action is slow because, you know, gravity. Gravity works like that. And then landing. And the further you move, the faster you go. You know, up and down. And it looks like this. Boing, boing, boing. So yeah, that is jumping, and any other action can be achieved with this technique. It's really handy. Up next are some tweens, and I'm talking classic tween, shape tween, and motion tween. And then you can just reverse them with this. So yes. Now, if we want to make a panning background, or panning in general, we just have to get import or draw a picture. Let's see, what do we have here? Import and import to stage. And just take us into the backgrounds. See background please, and here we go. I'm just gonna position it right here. And as you can see, hold on, I'm gonna make the picture transparent. As you can see, it is right here. This is the full picture. And you can see the outlines of it. I hope my capture isn't the best thing in the world. And well, now you can see them right there, those black dots. And I could stretch it around, do all sorts of stuff, but I won't, because I'm just gonna have to make it move from right to left. And how are we going to do that? Well, we do a new keyframe, grab the picture and drag it along its guidelines. So the right corner of the picture is in the right corner of the white frame. And now it moves. Moves really nice. And now the timing. If you want to make a quick pan, you can just do like 10 frames forward, and it's gonna be really fast. Like it's gonna zoom by. But if you want a slower pan, it'll take up more time. Though you have to drag it along somewhere way further. Like I'm gonna do 70, and then you just go onto the timeline and right click and choose create classic tween. And as we do that, you can see it turns purple, I think purple, violet, something like that. And now we have our tween. It moves automatically. Ta-da! We go closer, it's gonna look like this. If we test it, Control Enter, it's gonna look like this. Really smooth. And that is how you do panning. And you can do this with any sort of object. I'm going to show you the quick panning by putting the frame to like 10. And it's really quick, really fast. Next up are some tricks with tweens that I've learned over the years. For example, if you want to make a fade out or a fade in, you can easily do it by making a rectangle. It covers the entire area, like so, and make one keyframe, drag it the length you want, and then just go back to the original keyframe and rectangle, and choose the color option and go to alpha and drag it down to 0. And now it's transparent completely. And then you go to the original again, but if you of course if you click on it, it's turn back to its original color. And now if you click on the right mouse button and choose create shape tween, it'll become a what is this? What did I fucking say? A fade in, or in this case a fade out to black. You can choose any color you want, but I usually use black. And this is what it's going to look like. Really handy, and I use it all the time. Except now when I have Sony Vegas and I do all the editing in that thing. So yeah. But these were a few tricks with Flash and tweens, and I hope you found this episode helpful. Next time I'm going to do a bit of limb animation, like hands and feet, and some just how to draw animation. That'll come up next. and I will see you in the next episode, I suppose. See ya!